Is Monique's on? 3, 2, 1.
Hi, guys.
Hey, everybody. It's Reid and Helga from ReidAboutSex.com, and today is White Sex Educator Day on Facebook Live, where we've amassed a bunch of cisgendered white sex educators for your loving enjoyment.
Well, we just happened to be in the same place.
We did. We were. But I have to acknowledge these things because my viewers are like, hey, where are the people of color? And today, they're someplace else. They're not here today. But we all just got back from Soul Play Festival, and I have my new friend Ashley Apple.
Hello, everyone.
She's my old friend Ashley Apple.
Yeah, you two know each other better, and then I don't know who's that behind us, but
some weird person.
Very weird, very weird.
My name's Peter, by the way.
So where are you all from? Like, give people, because they have web browsers open and app they're ready. So Ashley, where do people find you? We'll do that first.
Hi, everyone. Well, right now I'm in the Bay Area, so local with Reid as well. Although I'm about to go on a year-long international traveling tour, so I may be coming to your country or your state soon. And you can find me on ashleyapple.com.
All right, I'm gonna put my phone near Monique, so we're all talking.
There we go.
Yes.
We're like,
And for those of you that are watching in my community, Ashley's going to come start doing her travels in our different communities. So DC, San Diego, Asheville. We're going to have some Ashley Apple in the next year. I'm very excited. But I'm Monique Darling, and you can find me at whereintheworldismoniquedarling.com.
And Peter, what about you?
And I am Peter Peterson at awakenbodyandsoul.com, all spelled out. ANDSOUL.com.
Cool. And then I'm Reid from ReidAboutSex.com and SexGeekSummerCamp.com. So we all got back from Soul Play and SoulPlayFestival.com, which is, and Soul Play is having... Thank you, Romy, and everybody who made Soul Play happen. But there's going to be a fall version of Soul Play so you might want to go to SoulPlayFestival.com and check out when the fall situation is going on. But we wanted to share some tips because it was fun and arduous this year. So what do we got? What tips do we got? It was cold.
It was cold.
It was rainy.
So always bring many layers and be prepared for everything. Like bring blankets, bring layers of clothes, and don't forget your suitcase at home.
There's a tip.
There's a tip. Yeah, I know, that was me. I forgot my suitcase, and I Facebook Lived earlier this morning before my battery ran out, and we were talking about my suitcase, and everyone was like, "Oh, your poor suitcase." But one of my tips was when you design your workshops. Can you teach them if you had nothing? Like if your luggage got lost, or if you're like me and you just leave it, if you get to put it in the car, like could you teach your workshop with nothing, and then kind of reverse engineer from there to make it more powerful? And then the piece I talked about this morning was just like self-care tips, so that when it comes time for you to teach, you're well rested and warm, hopefully. So what kind of you had a good one with...
I had a really good festival tip. I don't know if this will apply to every festival. I had 300 feet of extension cord and a space heater, and I dragged that through the woods into my tent. And I will say that I was safety oriented. I wrapped the extension cord around a tree that was right by my tent, so in case someone did trip on the cord in the middle of the night, it would just yank on the tree and not on my heater, and therefore burn me down to the ground.
So they would fall. They would fall in the woods while you just.
Well, I also put the cord underneath rocks and branches, and
So you hit it.
I did. I hit it.
She was like Rambo.
Yeah, it was like the Rambo of space heaters.
I love it, Ashley.
All right.
I was warm.
Now, Monique and Peter, you two travel the world. You've been to Scotland and Europe for other festivals. So
we're going to Scotland.
We're going to Scotland.
Okay. But we have been to Sweden.
Yes.
So do you have international festival travel tips?
It counts for both.
Okay.
I mean, I could come up with one of those, but what I wanted to share is especially workshop facilitators, if you're teaching in a lot of festivals, make sure that you do what you need to for self-care. And because people get burnt out or you get tired, like if you're at a festival, especially when it's really cold, you stay up late and then you're teaching the last 2 days, you have to make sure that you've taken care of your body. And it's the same thing for participants, just at a different level. And so it's being able to walk through the trees, it's going and sitting by the creek, it's bringing blankets, it's making sure that in between the workshops that you're just not like, oh, it's a festival, I only have 4 days, which it can often feel like, but let go of some of the things and just really listen to your body so you can enjoy the things that you do choose. And that's what I've seen over and over again at festivals, is people just go, and then they burn themselves out.
That was exactly what I was going to say, integration time. get into nature.
Yes.
Go to a river. There's like rivers and rocks and trees usually at these places. Like in Sweden, Monique found a fairy forest where she got to connect with these fairies. And we had like the most amazing time in between classes. And so many people think like, oh, I got to go class. I was like, no.
There's a fairy mansion. It's like spongy green and the fairies are standing all around it.
All of my skeptics are now just running away from this video. Whatever your belief system, take care of yourself.
Right.
If that means visiting the fairy mansion, is there like a fairy Airbnb as well?
It is.
Yeah.
Sure, all the fairies come.
I know that one night, the final night, when they were doing the big dance and music, I just was so burnt out. I just stayed in bed and ate. It was my cheat day, so I ate cookie dough in bed. But I could hear the music, so it was really great. But like it was hard for me because I had FOMO. I wanted to go see everybody, but at the same time, like I knew I needed to take care of myself because I leave in a couple of days for another festival, for Intimacy Fest with Dave Buddha.
Yeah.
And
we
then
fly to London tonight.
You're flying to London tonight.
So it's imperative for facilitators.
What about travel tips? Like any travel tips for the sex educators and muggles out there?
Bring something from home with you. For me, what I figured out is that
Suitcase.
I need to
Bring
carry...
your suitcase from home
yes,
with
that
you.
Too. But you bring something with you that feels like home, so even when you're on the road, then you feel like you have something to recharge. And for me, it was a smoothie bag. So I bring everything, including a little blender, so that I know that I'm covered on food needs if I can't find anything else.
Yeah.
And it just helps me have that comfort that like it took so much worry off my mind when I started bringing that smoothie bag.
Nice. Peter, what about you, Ashley?
God. Ashley, you go and I'll have one.
Okay, so I'm an herbalist and I believe heavily in the powers of natural medicine. So I always travel, always with my immune boosters. Even if I'm not feeling sick, especially if I'm not feeling sick, I have my echinacea, my golden seal, elderberry, I have ginger. I bring little sachets of my favorite tea. I also bring earplugs and an eye mask. I think earplugs and eye masks are essential for the plane, for the bus, for a festival if it's too loud. So yeah, I would say immune boosting supplements, even if it's just vitamin C, just bring some vitamin C.
Green smoothie mixes is what I always bring. I have like a bunch of that stuff.
Alkalize your
Well,
blood.
you is moving your body. Like that's what you remind me every single day. It's like, let's get up, especially if it's a travel day, then move your body on the plane, move your body as soon as you like stop along the way if you're driving, if you're in the bus. And,
Just making sure you're getting some sort of circulation into your blood system because it's very, very important.
And it's important to have an ongoing movement practice. Like if you're traveling all the time, it's really hard to get to the gym. It's really hard to be able to have, I work out at 8 o'clock in the morning. So wherever you are, then you find ways, and that's what Peter's great at, is being able to say, look, there's a park, there's something, let's go do a pull-up. Like he was doing pull-ups at the festival on this little bar that was across the tree.
And that bar was freezing, by the way. God.
It snowed in June in California yesterday. As we were packing up, it was snowing.
It was also at elevation. It was
It was
very
4,000.
high.
What about you, honey? What's your travel tip?
Well, I mean, I think the big travel tips for me, aside from don't forget your suitcase, is
Which I've done too.
What can you do? What can you learn about yourself if you're doing back-to-back gigs to make sure that you're taking care of yourself? So for me, if I'm gone, I know that I can go out on the road for 2 weeks, which is really easy for Allison and I. If I'm gone 3 weeks, then Allison, we joke about this, but Allison starts painting rooms different colors in our apartment. Isn't that right, honey? Yeah, she's upstairs. She's like, maybe. But when I come home, I don't feel like I've landed and then can recharge and go back out again unless I'm home for like 3 days, because I've done a couple of 24-hour turnarounds, and what I learned was it's better for me to just not come home if I'm only going to be home for 24 hours, and so what I'll do then is I'll just book an extra day in a hotel or wherever I'm at and hide from everybody. Take all my vitamin C and take baths and watch some Netflix or something. Like try to not do anything and recharge as much as I can. But if I can come home and if I can get 3 days in, then I can go back out for another 2 or 3 weeks. And that was hard for me to learn because I didn't know I needed that kind of turnaround, and I didn't know what my sweet spot was because I used to go out for like a month, and then I learned for me that a month is too long.
You don't know your sweet spot? Sorry.
I'll show you later. I can't reach it. I can't reach my own sweet spot.
His hands are full right
That's
now.
why toys. Professional tools create professional results.
Travel with your favorite toy.
Yes.
Last,
In fact, I think I remember that was a problem for you this festival. You
I didn't have my toys. I didn't have because I left my suitcase. So
Just create space
I bring my
in your
toy in my
travel.
purse. It's always
yeah,
on me.
that your toy is Peter. So the last
Don't
but
tell
not
him the
least.
secret.
Last but not least, first off, Monique has more viewers than I do right now, so I have envy.
You have envy.
So can the people who are watching on my channel, can you just hit the emoticon a couple of times just to make some hearts go?
Blow some
We
kisses.
love
And then
Blow some
I'll feel
kisses.
better. I'm having performance anxiety here now. 'Cause
But what if there's no hearts?
if there's no hearts, then no one loves me. No one loves me. Here, it's gonna come.
There
Here
you
it goes.
go.
Oh, yay! Yay!
Hallelujah.
Oh,
Oh,
see,
they're happening everywhere. Everybody's loving.
see, but now you have hearts too. Now I'm back to the same part. Man,
Nobody put hearts on mine for a
no,
minute.
you got a whole blast of
You
hearts.
got a blast of
All right, last but not least, because my video is aimed for sex educators and workshop facilitators.
Okay.
We covered some tips for being, rested for when you teach, but any business advice for when you teach, like obviously we've got email sign-up lists and things like that, business cards, or I do stickers and sell T-shirts, but you've got your book. So first off, where can people find your book?
My book is called The Kama Sutra Kitchen. So if you want recipes to make your orgasms feel even more potent, more strong, more powerful, who doesn't want that? Check it out. And you can get it on Amazon. Just Google The Kama Sutra Kitchen or go to Amazon.
Okay, cool.
Thank
so,
you.
So, you're welcome. So any business advice for when you're teaching at a festival?
Well,
Lots.
yeah, it's really encouraging having something that people are excited to go to your website and sign up. Because I've done email lists, and if you're going to have someone fill in the email list, then what Ashley and I were talking about is have block letters, like write the first couple really, really legibly, and remind people to do it legibly. Because I would go to a bunch of festivals, and you couldn't even read half of the email list. So what I found is even better is to be able to offer people a free gift, give them cards so they can go to your website and sign up themselves.
Also have an iPad and just have them type it in right there, and then it's just like
If you
boom,
have Wi-Fi.
there.
If there's Wi-Fi
good,
there.
Because
We
there was
didn't
no
have
Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi this
Yeah.
weekend, so I had to do the sign-up sheets. One thing that I also highly recommend for those of you out there who are looking to build is that at the end, when people come up to you, and there's always going to be a handful of people that really resonated with you, and they want to work with you. Maybe they want a session, if you do private coaching. Don't just say, great, send me a message later. Like, if you have the ability, literally pull out a calendar, whether it's your phone or whatever, and say, would you like to set something up right now? And then you've got them right then and there, and it's so much better than waiting
Reel
for
'em
them.
in.
Yeah, yeah.
and
And you get to help them sooner, too.
And then I don't really do this, but you do sometimes. You do sessions when you're on the road.
I do.
Yeah,
One-on-one
I do
sessions.
too.
So do you
I'll do like one a day.
Do you sell those at, like, you tell people that you're booking them after, or do you try to pre-book your sessions before you arrive at a festival or an event?
It depends on the venue. If it's a place I've been before and people already know I'm coming and they want to work with me, they'll pre-book. I don't really I don't sell it. Like, people come up to you and say, wow, can I work with you? Or I might mention, I have room for 2 more sessions while I'm in town. And then someone will come up and say,
Because
I want it.
Yeah, I used to advertise too, but now there's always people waiting. And
Yeah.
especially
Yeah.
at festivals, and we'll say, hey, we're offering. If we are, sometimes we won't offer sessions. But
Yeah.
if we are, we'll say, hey, we're offering, and then have people come book
Got it.
as our time and their time permits.
The thing that I do, but again, it only works with Wi-Fi. When I'm speaking to college audiences, I have a link that they can go to and just sign up on their phones. So I'll have them take out their phones, and then I also ask them to take a photograph and then post it on social media.
Well, how
I
do you
do
do
that too.
How do you word it? How do you say, hey guys, pull out your phones right now and post it for
Well,
me?
what I do in the beginning is so I'll model a couple different things. This is more for college audiences, but this could work at a festival too.
Okay.
You can tell everybody, okay, so here's the deal. And this is with college audiences, this has worked really well. Like, I don't mind if you have your phones out. I know your teachers yell at you for having your phones out. So I want you to all take your phones out right now and take a picture of me so you can put it on social media and tell all your friends to stay away from this guy. 'Cause it's creepy. Like, and I make it a joke.
Right.
And then I get them, like, that's usually when I whip out like a huge, rainbow dildo or something. and a vulva puppet, and then everyone takes their phones out, takes a picture,
Right.
and I tell them that they can put it on social media, and then I say, and if you want to be on my email list, then if you want to do it right now, go to readaboutsex.com, and then for sex educators, what I would say is readaboutsex.com/sexgeekpro, and then go right there and then sign up right now while I'm teaching, and then that way I can email you more things as we go along. And then I'll remind them about that link at the end, and I'll encourage them for the kind of teaching I do to take pictures as much as they want. Now in certain venues or certain festivals, if the privacy policy is no photos, obviously you wouldn't do that.
Right.
And if you didn't have Wi-Fi, you couldn't send them to that link.
Nope.
So you have to go like old, email version for the signups.
You can have them open up a memo pad on their phone or on your iPad and just have them type in their information right there.
Yeah,
and
we've
there.
done that before too.
With an
In the
iPad?
pitch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or with our phone. Just
Yeah.
open up your phone memo pad, type in your name, your address, so we can look you up on Facebook later.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. So again, like those are little like tech hacks that you can use to get people to get on your email lists. Another thing that I do, which I'll email Romy later today from Soulplay, is I have a whole article about decompression and re-entry.
It's a really good article,
Just
you guys.
tips for how to handle a retreat hangover or festival hangover. And then I'll promote on social media that article link, and then try to have the organizers promote it as well or retweet it.
Smart.
And then there's a field there for people to sign up as well. But also I'm just always trying to give people tools to help them handle whatever it is that they just experienced, whether it was my energetic sex workshop or something like that. And thank you for being our demo the other day for that.
That was awesome, honey.
So it's more like how do you give people resources to follow up while at the same time helping your own business so that you can go to a festival who maybe can't afford to pay you, but you know how you're going to make money later.
Can we end with that? Can we end running some energy? Because we have all of these energetic, yummy people. And we all be each other's energetic sex demo.
We're only going to run energy if you all hit a bunch of emoticons right now.
Reid wants more emoticons.
Kisses.
So
Now
let's see what
remember,
we
this
got.
is delayed. It might take a couple of
comes-
seconds.
That's what I tell all my lovers. Okay, here it comes. Here comes. Oh, there's one. There's one.
There they
All right,
come.
make it rain, everyone.
Oh my
you go.
God.
All right. Who's gonna play with my energy?
Well, we can all
There it goes.
touch each other. Here we go.
Oh, I feel self-conscious now. Oh, wow.
And if you wonder what's happening, where can they find out about energy sex on your website?
They can go to readaboutsex.com/energy sex, and that should do it. Wow.
Oh, we're all good at playing your note.
All right, that's
Thanks
enough.
for joining us, guys.
Get a room, Facebook. Bye,
Love
everyone.
you.
Thank you, everyone.